So 4 weeks ago, I got my hydroponic system set up using mason jars. So mason jar hydroponics can be great for the beginner because it's very quick and easy, and it can be very affordable, especially if you already have mason jars on hand. You don't need a lot of equipment. Now there's another type of hydroponics called deep water conditioning, and basically that's just hydroponics with an air pump added. And I'm going to show you what that looks like. So instead of using mason jars, you can use a bigger container for this. And I'm using like a 2-gallon Rubbermaid container that I've modified by cutting holes in the lid to the size of the net pots. The net pots is what holds your plant, or it holds the rock wool in the seed if you're trying to germinate in this setup. So then I'm going to add my plant food. I'm using Fox Farm Grow Big liquid plant food, and I'm going to add a gallon. I already have some in here already. And then the net pots will hang down into the feed. So the one thing that's different about the deep water conditioning method is that you do not need the air gap that is required with the mason jar hydroponics. You need a little bit of an air gap between the roots and the feed. Right now the feed is about this level, and the roots, there's a little bit of an air gap, which is what helps oxygenate the roots. If not, then they're gonna rot in the mason jar. And sometimes as a beginner, it can be easy to lose track of your water level and just have all your root system submerged, and the plant can succumb to rot. So you have to keep an eye on that. But with the deep water conditioning, you don't need that air gap because you're getting oxygenation from your air pump. As far as the air pump goes, I'm just using a basic aquarium filter. There's a high-low setting on this, and this is the air stone that's going to go into the system. So it doesn't have to be centered or anything, but it'll just kind of sink to the bottom, and make sure your air hose is connected. And as you can see, the water is definitely getting oxygenated from the air stone. So like I said, it doesn't have to go in the center. If it gets pushed around, it doesn't really matter. Then I'm going to put the lid back on. But as far as what to put in your system, now if you wanted to germinate, you could definitely do the net pots and the rock wool and the seeds. But I'm doing the cheaters method because we're kind of late in the season, and I want to show you how you can buy lettuce once and never buy it again. So when I go to the grocery store, I'm looking for live lettuce or living lettuce, and check out how awesome this butterleaf lettuce looks. This is amazing. But it's the root ball that I'm going after. So this was once hydroponic lettuce, and it's going to stay hydroponic lettuce. It's not all dried out. There's even a little bit of rock wool still right there. So I don't need the net pot for this. I'm just going to drop this right in to the system carefully. So having to go through this hole, but that's okay. Just kind of drop it right in there. A couple roots. So now that's hanging in the system. Looks like I'm a success already. The other thing I found at the store today was living watercress. So Whole Foods is really good for something. Again, you can tell how this was hydroponic. There's already a root ball in there. It's already moist. It's ready to go. I'm dropping this right into the system as well. Maybe I'll put this air pump in the middle one, so these guys can have some space. So, looking good. I didn't think I liked watercress, but it's like arugula on steroids. Really good, very peppery. So I realized I cheated here. I didn't grow these out of hydroponics. I'm stealing somebody else's hydroponics. But my goal this point in the season isn't necessarily to grow from seed. It's to kind of keep things going. I'd like to see if I can keep this watercress or butterleaf lettuce growing indefinitely. Pick off as much as I need, like save some money at the grocery store. And one other thing I want to try with this system is using a stub of romaine lettuce. So I already added a stub of romaine lettuce to my hydroponic mason jar, right? And look how dark green it is compared to this one. This one's been under the light for about a week. It's very firm. There's new leaves growing in the center. So this is left over from last night's salad. So I want to plop this into the air pump system, DWC, what people call it, and see if there's any difference between mason jar versus air pump as far as it comes to regrowing romaine lettuce stumps. All right, so this one, I might have to trim some of the butter leaf because this guy is he's gonna need a little bit more access to light. So I've got butter leaf, the watercress and the romaine. I'm going to be harvesting some of this lettuce, so it's going to look smaller next time. But I just want to show you guys really how easy it is. It's not that much more of an expense to do the air pump. I like to experiment with the setup a little bit more. If I happen to see more live plants or living lettuces or herbs at the store, I will probably buy some and just kind of plop them into this system and see if I can keep them going all year round. I know spring is just around the corner, but hopefully this is enough gardening fun to kind of keep you going until outdoor planting season opens up. And let me know in the comments for sure. I want to hear from you. What are you trying to grow with your hydroponic system? Is there anything adventurous? Have you tried the cheaters method yet? Is that working out for you? Here's to growing your groceries indoors. And we'll see you in the next video.